Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Daily Revolution. For this past week, we've been considering ways in which we can let the light of Jesus Christ shine through us in such a way that people would see it, seek God, and glorify Him for the salvation that has come to them. Jesus has already told us a couple of things about inner integrity and outer integrity. Today, he's going to give us four things that are very important to us, and they are very anti-cultural to the world that we live in, and they are very anti-personal to the way that we want to live ourselves. So they're going to be very difficult, but they are something that Jesus says. Therefore, we must just obey them. I'm going to read the passage this time because I want you to hear the whole context. We're in Matthew chapter 5, verse 39 through 42. Jesus says, "But I tell you not to resist an evil person, but whoever slaps you on your right cheek, turn the other to him also. If anyone wants to sue you and take away your tunic, let him have your cloak also. Whoever compels you to go 1 mile, go with him 2. Give to him who asks you, and from him who wants to borrow from you, do not turn away." Okay, as I said, these are not very easy. We know what nobody likes to think about us being slapped. Nobody likes to think about being sued. Nobody likes to be told what to do. Nobody likes to be made, a victim because somebody was dishonest toward us. What Jesus is talking about here, whenever he talks about the slap and turning the other cheek, it is just that. It's a slap. It's not a punch. It's not a bludgeon. What he's talking about in that cultural term, the slap was an insult or a disrespect. It never was meant to actually hurt somebody. It was more just to humiliate them. And what he's talking about whenever he says somebody wants to sue you and take away your shirt, then what he's talking about is those who would make threats to do you in some way. Whenever he's talking about somebody compelling you to go another mile, he's talking about people who would just always want to impose burdens upon you. And those people who want to borrow and want you to give them things, he's talking about people that would take advantage of us. And so these are all things that we come across in our daily life. There are always going to be times whenever people insult us or disrespect us. There are always going to be times whenever people are wanting to threaten us in one way or another, just to cause us fear. There are always going to be people who seek to impose burdens upon us in our day. And people who want us to give them things, and people who want to borrow, people who want to take advantage of us. And what does Jesus say in these? I think we can wrap it all up with 3 words. He's saying, let it go. Let it go. Not everything that happens to us needs to be taken to court, and that's what he was talking about in the previous verses. Is people who they weren't able to come to any kind of agreement with one another. They'd rather go to court rather than talk about things, or rather than just letting it go. And I know we don't like that because we grow up in a time whenever we understand our rights and we want to protect our rights and so forth. But we are from another kingdom. And God has a different way of doing things. God's not looking for us to get what we deserve right now all the time. There is another world that we are from. There is another time that we are going to have everything given back to us. God is going to be the one who will make all things right. He is just and he is righteous. And so anything that is done against us really can't hurt us. And so he says there are times whenever you need to just let it go. If they're going to insult you, let it go. If they're going to try to take advantage of you, let it go. I really don't know how to say this any differently. I don't know that there's any words that I can say that are going to make this more palatable to you or to myself. Whenever I read these, I see these as things that go against my flesh. They go against my natural way of wanting to do things. They go against my sense of my rights. But I have to realize that if Jesus is my Lord and He's telling me to let it go, then He has my best in view. I want to read a portion from 1 Peter. Peter is writing to Christians and he says, "For this is commendable, if because of conscience toward God one endures grief and suffers wrongfully." He says there's going to be times whenever you're going to get a lot of grief. There's going to be times whenever you are persecuted and you suffer wrongfully. But he goes on in verse 21 to say, "For to this you are called, because Christ also suffered for us, leaving us an example that you should follow in his steps." What was the example that Jesus left us? We see that he was threatened. We see that he was disrespected. We see that people were always trying to take advantage of him, and there were always things that were, not pleasant to him. And the Apostle Peter says, here's the example. Jesus, who committed no sin, nor was deceit found in his mouth, who whenever he was reviled, he did not revile in return. When he suffered, he did not threaten, but committed himself to him who judges rightfully. Are we better than our Lord? No. Whenever our Lord had these things coming against him, he knew that there were times whenever he needed to just let it go and let God take care of it. There will be a day whenever those who have done wrong against us, if they have not repented and turned to God, they will be judged. Meaning, this is a time whenever we need to let it go. Now, Jesus is not asking us to be doormats. He's saying, enter into who you are. You're above this. Just let it go. Grace and peace, everybody. Have a great day. We'll see you next time.